don't respond well to heat and humidity, so I spend most of summertime inside. This week I spent most of my indoor time baking all of my favorite things, so I hope you're in the mood for some delicious treats. I will link what recipes I can in the description. I highly recommend all of them. The only recipe I don't have anymore is this chocolate oatmeal blob I like to make for breakfast. If you look for any baked chocolate oatmeal recipe, I'm sure you'll find something similar. Breakfast could have made a fantastic photo, but my plan today is to feature my roses and the rose water I made with them in the previous video. I want to try the same technique I used in week 31, where I used a slow shutter speed and flash to photograph falling daisy petals. I'm hoping the dark background will help the flash effect show better this time. After plenty of adjusting, a lens swap, and more adjusting and testing, I'm ready to take the photo. The result still isn't getting the combination of motion and frozen motion I'm envisioning, but I like this result. Baking day number 2. I'm getting the dough started for my favorite bread recipe. This is a yeast bread that requires rise time, so the result is perfect for toast or sandwich bread. The ingredients are simple, with bread flour being the only flour used. It also calls for a sizable amount of oats, which gives it a great fiber and taste boost. Now it has to rise for a while, and Josie and Ruby know how to spend that time while we wait. I can't spend the whole time sleeping, however. It's time to make supper, and I'm making a black bean soup. Unlike my previous bean soup attempt, this one was highly satisfying and comforting. Before I can tuck into my soup, I've got to give the dough a final knead and put it in the loaf pan for one more rise. Now I'm giving the bread some cosmetic treatment by brushing the top with a honey and butter mix and sprinkling some oats. It's nearly midnight at this point, but the loaf is done and it came out perfectly. Baking day 3. This may be my favorite cookie recipe of all time. One bite of these chocolate cookies will send you into a chocolate coma bliss. The most notable thing about these cookies is how large they are. I weighed each tennis ball sized cookie to make sure they were all equal in size. Now they need to sit in the freezer for at least 1 hour. Since these cookies are baked from a frozen state, I'm going to bake off 4 and save the rest in the freezer for whenever I feel like a freshly baked cookie. I wanted to get a photo of just how big and chocolatey these cookies are, and I thought a top-down shot with natural light would work well for that. With so much rich food around me already, I took a baking break for a few days to focus my attention on other photography subjects. Today it was my ever so adorable cat, Autumn. I was walking around outside and saw her watching me through this window. Ruby and I spent the rest of the evening seeing what treasures the yard had in store for us. When Saturday arrived, I was off to visit my mom and we had to go to our favorite brunch spot and get some carrot cake. My cat Hobbs lives with Mom, and I always spend plenty of time visiting with him and all the other cats I spent so many years with while I lived here. I got a sweet photo of Hobbs and his best buddy Tubby while I was there. A few weeks ago, I started a bunch of apple mint steeping in vinegar. It was an experiment in making a pleasant-smelling vinegar cleaner. I can't say it was a success. Really, it just smelled like strong pee. Perhaps a different herb would have been a better choice. The rest of the day brought another intense rainstorm. I've seen photos of people jumping around in the rain, embracing the cooling shower in the middle of the hot summer. These photos always made me feel a sense of joy and freedom. Joy and I don't speak much, so this kind of photo session felt very out of character for me to begin with. I think that was the big reason I pushed myself to try this photo. It didn't work out though. As I was trying to jump around in the rain, I came down off balance on my right foot and twisted my ankle. It was pretty extreme. The next day, I couldn't put any weight on that foot and spent the remainder of the week holding on to things to move around the house. Of all the frolicking photos I took, I only liked this one of me running out into the rain. The following day, I went to an urgent care center for an x-ray of my ankle. I was a little vague in telling them how it happened. Fortunately, it was a sprain and not a break. I spent the remainder of the day laid up in a chair, experiencing the kind of rest my cats experience on a regular basis. I made my way to the back porch in the evening and got a panorama photo of the backyard. After a full day of rest, I managed to hobble into the kitchen. I thought some baking would be a good way to occupy the day. This time I chose a new-to-me recipe, banana blueberry oat muffins. I'm not sure what gave me the idea to use my food processor. The recipe wasn't written that way, but it worked out well to quickly pulverize the bananas and blend the dry ingredients into the wet. These were quick and easy to make and tasted fantastic. I didn't have the energy to compose a food photo, though these muffins deserved one. The rain came again, and I took a photo of the water splashing through my rain chain. Thank you for joining me this week, and I hope to see you back.